And thanks for joining us at 13 News at Noon. I'm Anne-Marie Tiernan along with Sean Ash. And Sean, you've been updating some pop-up showers today, and severe storm potential is something you've been talking about for later this week.
Yeah, and because we're going to have our hottest, our most humid weather that we've had, which is not saying a whole lot for us here later this week, but we got to time it out and get you ready for that and get you ready for the afternoon as well here. Okay. So a lot going on. We got our Pacer colors. We're ready.
Yes, we are ready. I finally got in sync with you, and I feel like you've been doing the good mojo, and I'm just going to hop on your bandwagon.
I had to swap up the ties a little bit.
You're looking good.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and I hope the team looks good tonight. We are excited.
Same.
And kids are excited. It's a 7 o'clock tip, too. They can stay up for it. Let's get you into what's happening here over central Indiana at this hour. So we've addressed the upper low. You can see this slow spin around the eastern part of the country. The center of it is over Tennessee. You can see everything kind of going backwards, if you will. Still that southeast to west-northwest movement here. A lot of clouds, not a whole lot of rain right now, but we are getting into the peak heating, so we will see an increase in coverage. There's a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, so some locally maybe brief downpours in play, some rumbles of thunder. There won't be anything severe for today. Temperatures, because of the clouds, are hovering in the upper 60s to lower 70s. Dew points almost to match in some spots. So it's humid. We're well above 60 on the dew point, and the most humid air is yet to come. Here's the vantage point from the station as we look south of Meridian. Not much of a wind, 67, dew point 64. Humidity at 90%. If you're heading out to the track, just know there's going to be some showers, might have a few pops of thunder. I mentioned the most humid air is on the way. As we go into Thursday, dew point is going to get oppressive, miserable mugginess on Thursday. That, combined with our hottest day of the year, puts most of the state in play for severe weather. Coming up in the forecast, though, I'm going to let you know why. Just because we've got a chance for severe weather doesn't mean we're going to have a whole lot of storms. We'll see you with that here in a few minutes.
All right, Sean, thanks. We'll check back. In the meantime today, new at noon, we've been hearing from many of you all morning today about some messages that you're receiving about unpaid toll fees that are spamming your inbox. Here at 13 News, some of the workers here, we've received these texts and emails too, so we know what you're talking about. And we've reached out to state officials who now confirm to us that the messages appear to be coming from state agencies about unpaid toll fees are in fact scams. It is confusing because these messages are coming from several agencies that include the Indiana Governor's Office, the Indiana State Comptroller, the Indiana Department of Transportation, and several others too. These messages say that you have unpaid toll fees of about $6.69. Officials do want you to know that the state of Indiana does not send unpaid toll notifications to you with a text or with an email. So right now we're looking into the cause of these messages, and we'll have the latest on what we've learned here on 13 News later this afternoon at 4 o'clock.
I feel I am at Bill's funeral all over again. I've received the call. It's hell. That's all I can say. And
Powerful
I do
and emotional words.
that
Those are
justice
coming.
be done for my son and for our family.
But I really
Those are powerful words, and they're coming from the mother of Beech Grove police officer Bill Toney. Toney was killed during a foot chase more than 2 decades ago. Now, in less than a week from now, Benjamin Richie will be put to death for Toney's murder unless the courts or the Indiana governor steps in. We told you about Richie's clemency hearing yesterday at this time, and now we're learning more about some of the emotional moments during that hearing. It was the first time that we were able to hear from Officer Toney's sister and from Officer Toney's mother. They are united in calling for the death penalty for Richie as we get closer to his execution date.
It's time. I'm tired. We're all tired. We all know that by putting him to death will not bring Bill back. That's not why we are here. We are here to plead that justice is carried out.
But I really...
Right now, we're still working to learn if the governor plans to intervene with the execution date that now is 7 days away.
I mean, I can read.
I think justice has been served. I really do.
I'm glad I didn't have to make that decision, but it seems appropriate.
Today marks the beginning of a 10-year sentence for Marquise Tipton. Yesterday, we told you that a judge sentenced him to after a road rage incident ended in shots fired 2 years ago. One of those stray bullets went across the street and hit Susie Warden as she was working at Sullivan's Hardware. That shooting cost Warden one of her eyes. In court, she had support from her best friend as she heard of sentencing and penalties for Tipton in court. Warden says she's glad this is all over. Now, Tipton did apologize to Warden before he learned what his sentence would be. He also said he hopes that people can learn from his mistake. This afternoon, charges could be coming against a man who's suspected of intentionally crashing his truck into the Johnson County Juvenile Detention Center. The driver told deputies that he did it on purpose and he wanted to send a message. The tailgate of the truck had "Fathers Matter" written across the back. He told investigators he was upset with the Indiana court system because he hadn't seen his son in a year. We now know that the suspect's son was not in that juvenile detention center. Investigators say the alleged target was the court system. The suspect was also wanted on a drug charge that was pending out of Shelby County. And officers in Greenfield now are trying to figure out how a canine got away from his handler's home and then bit another off-duty officer. That canine sadly was killed in the ordeal. Greenfield police say that this is the dog, Ace, who got loose while his handler was away. And that's when he encountered a neighbor who is an off-duty New Palestine police officer. Police say that Ace bit that off-duty officer and severely injured him. A spokesperson for the police department in Greenfield says that off-duty officer was able to subdue Ace, but it did lead to the dog dying. The department says now they're looking into what happened and what they can do in the future to make sure that incidents like this don't happen again. And turning now to this year's Indianapolis Prize winner presented by the Indianapolis Zoo. This is an honor given to conservationists around the world who are working to save species. And this year's winner is revolutionizing conservation in Madagascar. Dr. Lily Arison Reina Delon has dedicated over 2 decades to protecting the endangered species in Madagascar. He helped establish 5 national protected areas. Add them up and it totals more than 1,500 square miles. He also played a key role in discovering several new species. Now, Dr. René de Roland will get a $250,000 award to continue his efforts. He will be honored at the Indianapolis Prize Gala set here in September.